Hello YouTube, welcome back to the channel. We are having now the requested Ada Barbiano. So, how to play this absolute ridiculous 16 gun destroyer. I'm honest with you, I think it's a rather griefy ship. I don't think it actually brings that much utility. It's purely for like completely annoying people and absolutely nuking DDs in close combat. The problem with this ship is it has 8 km concealment and you have an exhaust smoke generator. That's pretty much it when it comes to utility and the speed. It's all about firepower. You have two different modes. You have 26mm pen and 2.5 second reload with this build. If you press the F key, you have longer reload, but you can pen up to 34mm. In my opinion, the only reason you should use the F key is if you have 30mm cruisers on your side, such as the Moine, for example, or Austin would work as well, and stuff like Republic and Conqueror. Against all the other targets, I would just take the normal mode because you have way faster reload, and against ships like Libertad or Montana or so on, where you can't pen them even with the button, you can just go for the superstructure and keep going for the faster reload. You're doing more damage overall. Of course, you can also aim for the bow and stern, but that's not always working that easily. Now, how to play the ship? At the beginning, you want to watch out where the radars are. You don't really want to go too close, and like most people that do the biggest mistake about it, and this is why I call the ship pretty griefy, is what they tend up doing is they just rush down the enemy DD and trade 1 for 1. And there's not a lot you can do about it, unfortunately, because most of the time they just W at you. And yeah, will trade with you, will die, both of you, and that's their success. That's why I don't like the ship too much. But what you really want to do is you want to use your smoke screen, first of all, for some farming breaks like this, but also use it to disengage, not only to push. Your goal is not to throw your ship at the beginning away. You want to stay as alive as long as you can and be a complete annoyance to the enemy team. Also, not having torpedoes means you don't really bring utility to battleships and bigger ships in general. And not having AP also means you purely rely on your pens on the SAP. That's pretty much it. So, again, you're just absolutely annoying to deal with. But your damage output, while it looks pretty good, is high, but you don't have the alpha strike. That's something you need to keep in mind here. Oh, there was already one torpedo. Deep water, Yu Yang is on our flank. Good to know. Gonna stop firing here for now. Gonna go a bit back. I'm gonna try to use this island here. Maybe we can shoot without being detected, which I heavily doubt though due to Yu Yang. But here we're gonna use the cover so we're not getting hit. Okay, Yu Yang open up. That's something I would have not done, to be honest. Gotta watch out. I didn't know that the Kremlin could lob over here. We just lost way too much HP. Not to mention that Prince Van Oranje also got some nice damage on us. The thing is, again, I'm not a big fan of this thing. I think it's just purely to grief the enemy. What we're gonna do is now we're gonna push with our smoke screen the Yu Yang, gonna kill him pretty quickly, and then we're gonna deal with the Kremlin and Prince Van Oranje again. You have a lot of HP you can play around with, which I didn't really expect him to be able to lob over here, because he was rather close to the island, but I guess not close enough. The Prince Van Oranje was a bit annoying. We should have stayed here so they can't really shoot us. That was a mistake. But yeah, how to counter this ship though, because you also need to know how to counter it. If you know there's Barbiano on the enemy team, as soon as he's spotted, there's two possibilities. Either you keep him spotted for your team and the team smashes him down, or he smokes up and rushes towards you. When he does that, he has no vision, and what you can do then is you can turn away already. I just smoked up too late here. Let's stop real quick. Yeah, it gets 6k, okay, whatever. As soon as he smokes up, you turn away, so he loses track of you. But you don't want to fight this DD in an open environment next to each other, because he will out-DPM you. Now this stranded shot was very annoying, because it took too long to smoke up. And we're gonna go back. We can't push the Yu Yang here. Gotta play it safer here. That's the thing, you also if the DD player plays it right, which he doesn't really do, but he has backup, you're kind of useless against other DDs as well. Because if they play it smart and pay attention, you can always dodge the fight with him. Or play around him, for example, if you're on a vampire, use your Hydro and smash him then while he can't see you. But these are things you need to pay attention to. When you see one, don't engage it, because you will not win the fight as a DD. Under no way you will win the fight. Here we can also think about using the F key now, because we will be able to pen the upper belt of the Orania. What I did here is I played with my concealment, so we instantly go dark again. That's also what you can do. This is why I don't recommend AFT on this ship, because what happens, you just have a bigger bloom and your shell arcs are really terrible, or your shell speed, so you don't really want to have much more range anyway. Plus, we have Sansonetti here. If we have a kill, we get AFT a bit more range anyway. Good, the prince is now dead. Now we're just gonna rush the Kremlin and keep molesting him with our guns. We also healed a bit again, which is very, very nice. But yeah, this is just... Honestly, this is just a ridiculous ship. It doesn't really bring anything to the table besides being absolutely atrocious to fight. But it doesn't bring any utility. All you do is just farm. Legit. There's nothing. You can't really contest caps with it. You don't have any cool consumables. You just farm. It's a point and click thing pretty much. Here, for example, there's no reason to use the F key. We're just gonna go for the superstructure. That Tremor is even so smart and starts hiding. Meh. Unfortunately, we have nobody to spot him either, because we are alone on this flank next to Vermont, so that's also a frustration. You kind of rely spotting for this to get the maximum out of it, which we unfortunately don't have here. Plus, you can use that freaking island to always go undetected and into safe environment. Let's see if he's here. No. We're gonna go towards A now because the enemy team is close to the objective. This is arms race again, so we don't want to waste our time on the flank. We want to make sure they don't get the cap. If they get the cap, the game is pretty much lost for us.
Catturate quell'area.
Can always annoy him just when he goes dark, because I can get so many shells off here that I can always annoy him. But yeah, we're gonna go into A now. We block it, otherwise we might lose this, and we don't want that. Because again, we have nobody really close to the objective, and if they just get it, it's instantly lost for us. Don't let them get A or we lose. We also healed up quite a lot, thanks to arms race, so our mistakes we did at the beginning are kind of gone. Yu Yang is in front of me. He just took the buff. Which is actually very annoying, because that means we can't push too deep and we need to use these islands. As soon as I'm spotted, I need to press the smoke button. Which might actually be from Kremlin. What was that degenerate kept? Holy F.
Sovralimentazione disattivata. Generatore di fumo.
There's the Yu Yang. That Yu Yang is dead.
Problema risolto, signore.
I'm gonna switch to the Bourgogne though, because Bourgogne needs to die. He's our priority, because he's the way out. If we kill the Bourgogne, we can get out here. Good. Bourgogne is dead. That's all I had to know, or had to get. Now we can just farm the Monty. Farm.
Rilasciata cortina fumogena.
Yeah, I know. Very, very interesting gameplay. But it is what it is. Gotta watch out about the Austin here. I don't know why the Monty saw. Okay, Monty saw us because of this. Okay.
Concentrare il fuoco sul bersaglio indicato.
He's saying the cap here now. Again, enemy team is not making it too hard for us right now because we get a free cap. Do I think this ship is particularly good? Again, I don't think it brings that much to the table. It's not even that strong in my opinion. It's just super annoying, and if you do a mistake against it, you get, at least as a DD, you get completely butchered. But other than that, I don't think it's that good of a ship. Just absolutely atrocious and annoying to fight against. Gotta watch out about the Stalingrad radar potentially. And the game is pretty much won. That's the thing, as soon as we get the cap and they can't block it, the game is lost for them.
La nostra vittoria è vicina.
Just gotta watch out that we don't end up in Stalingrad radar. We're gonna start farming the Monty now. We have 1 minute of free damage farming on him. And let's go. Be able to kill him in time. Yeah.
Problema risolto, signore. La corazzata nemica sta colando a picco.
Gotta go for the Austin. Bigger threat to me than Kremlin right now. him as well.
Nemico sta colando a picco.
There we go. Again, in situations like these where I have spotting by my team now, it's still strong. Again, makes it harder than it needs to be here, to be honest. Now we have all the the reload buff here and everything. Actually, it's only one reload buff. Blind fired me, normal. GG. And that's Barbiano for you. Hold my health. And all I can say is it's absolutely atrocious to fight against. Of course, in scenarios like these, when we use our terrain to our advantage, and in the moments like this where they don't have a DD left, it can work very well. But I just want to clarify that if the Yu Yang played it a bit smarter on their flank, utilized his spotting against me, and not completely disengaged the Kremlin and the Prince Van Oranje at the beginning, I could have been in a far more useless spot. So, when you fight this thing, don't straight up disengage it. Play the strength against you, and that's concealment. Or other tools such as Hydro, and so on. And keep friendlies nearby. Don't take a 1v1 with this thing, or don't leave it completely alone either, because I could have utilized the islands very well. You can outplay the ship, actually, and you will actually outplay it a lot of times, because people are just standardly going in with it and die. If you see that smoke screen coming towards you, you will have time, because usually you outspot the opponent by 3km or something. If you see that smoke screen coming towards you, run, don't engage it, or outplay it in that regard, meant with smoke screens, again, Hydro and so on. But don't take a fair fight with this thing, because it will absolutely nuke you in an enemy DD. This thing really relies, in the end, especially when your smoke screens are empty, you rely on team spotting and terrain. Because if you can't utilize this and you have to fight in the open, it's nowhere near as nimble enough to completely duke shells. So, yes, this is one of the most frustrating things to fight against. And it can be really strong, as you can see, especially at the end. It can be really strong in the right moment. But I still think they're far better DDs. Like, I would rather have a Smalland in my team with more utility, or a Vampire 2 or a Daring and so on with more utility, and also decent damage output if used right. That doesn't change that this thing is completely frustrating to play against, especially if you have no clue what you do. But that's Barbiano for you. I hope you enjoyed this. I mean, you saw the guns. It can be crazy, but it's a very dumb gameplay. You just go in and you hold the trigger button and you just, yeah, go. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Your Trenlass, and out.